Hi everybody, and welcome to another Replica Airguns video. My name is Michael K, and we're taking a look at two lever action style BB rifles. Now, I have already done a full review on the Marline Cowboy. I've even done a chronograph test on it, so make sure to check out those YouTube videos. But I thought it would just make sense to take a look at both of these guns side by side and do an almost comparison review. But I am going to focus a little bit more on the Red Ryder BB rifle because I haven't done an actual review on it, obviously. Okay, so you can see here, both of these guns, they come in nice boxes. Now, I paid roughly about 44 bucks for both of them, so pricing isn't really a factor as far as these guns go, in my opinion. Now, when I reviewed the Marline Cowboy, I mentioned that the Marline Cowboy had a metal lever, and this was something specific to the Marline Cowboy. It was a feature that it had that the Red Ryder didn't have, or the current version didn't have at that time. You'll notice now that the Red Ryder comes with a metal cocking lever. So I'm assuming that they've upgraded these a little bit to compete with the Marline Cowboy on some degree. They're very, very similar rifles. Quickly, I want to go over some basic specifications. Marline Cowboy holds 700 BBs, or up to 700 BBs. The Red Ryder holds up to 650 BBs. On the box, the Marline Cowboy 350 feet per second, Red Ryder 350 feet per second. We're going to check this out later on with a chronograph test for both of them. We're also going to do an accuracy test as well, so we'll do that shortly. They're both lever action rifles. They're both mostly metal and wood with a few exceptions. They both have the adjustable rear sights. I mean, they're very similar in a lot of ways. So let's take them out of the box and have a little bit closer look. Alright, so we have the Marline Cowboy and the Daisy Red Ryder BB gun out of the box. We're going to take a little bit of a look at them and sort of compare them. You can see that they're roughly the same size, and they're really pretty much the same style of gun. I also wanted to mention that I'm using a bit of a different camera, so this does sort of distort the image a little bit. This is actually an action camera that I'm going to be using, hopefully in some of my future videos, to take some interesting camera angles. Maybe I'll even use it a little bit in this video when I do some of the testing. Let's take a look at the guns in comparison. Now, both of these guns have the wood stocks. They have the lever action that's in metal as well. They have this, I guess it's a stamped receiver. Now, the Daisy does have this leather strap, and it may affect it a little bit. It might get in the way for some people. You can always take this off, but you're always going to have this little metal part here that might be in the way depending on what you're doing. They have metal bands in the front. You'll notice they pretty much feed the same way, and I'll get a little bit closer into these guns really quickly, but anyways, they have you just basically push this down here to open them on both of these. This is how you load your BBs. On the Marline Cowboy, this is plastic, the front sight's plastic. Same with the Daisy, this front sight is plastic. This is a metal, looks like a magazine tube, it actually isn't. The magazine is inside the barrel. The sights on both of these guns are metal, and they're adjustable for height, not so much windage, but for height anyways. You also have an oil hole here for oiling the guns. And on both of these guns, there is a little hole here, and this shows you the BBs as they feed. And so what's nice about that is you can actually see if you're out of ammunition. And you can see that here. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the sights. Front sight. Here's that tube here, feeding magazine area, metal band, here's your lever. Take a quick look. Here's your rear sight. There's your oil tube here. There's that little hole. You can see the actual bullets going in the BBs. Front sight. Now, one thing I want to point out is the Daisy does have a little bit larger area for fingers. As you can see here, you can actually get a little bit of a beefier finger in here. They both have the safeties, right, just located just behind the actual trigger. See here, this opening is smaller, so for larger, beefier fingers, adult fingers, you might have a problem. I don't have a problem with it, and I've got big hands, but I don't have really thick fingers, so it's no problem. And here's your safety right here. Okay. Take a quick look at the other side. Now on the Marline Cowboy, you'll notice you've got your actual logos and your branding right here. Let's take a quick look here. See that? On the Daisy, You have this on the actual stock, quite nice. It's carved in, or burnt in, I'm not really sure what they've done. So at this point we're going to go outside and we're going to actually shoot these guns. I'm going to do a chronograph test again. Now I have done a chronograph test with the Marline Cowboy, but I really want this to be a comparison video to some degree, so I'm going to redo that chronograph test. We're going to do 8 shots on both guns through the chronograph, and we're also going to shoot these guns. We're going to put 8 rounds through a target and see what the accuracy is like. Alright, so I've got my Daisy Red Ryder BB gun. We're going to put 8 rounds through the chronograph, and we're going to see how well this does. Now it has a claimed up to 350 feet per second rating, so let's see if we get close to that. Shot number 1. .305. Shot number 2. 306. Shot number 3. 304, very consistent. Shot 4, 305. Shot 5, 311. 308. Shot 7, 310, going up just a wee bit. Now this is a very new gun, barely been broken in. 310, so we got up into 310. I imagine this gun will shoot a little harder as it gets a little bit more broken in. It's brand new, and it's doing pretty good, but yeah, not bad at all, up into the 300s. Can't really complain. So let's move now to the Crosman Marlin Cowboy and see how well we do there. And here it is. Gonna test it out. It does have a noticeably heavier lever. It's harder to cock, so I would almost expect higher velocities. Shot 1. 319. Shot 2. 307. A little lower. That one didn't read at all, so we'll do that one again. Shot 3. 314. Shot 4. 311. 312. Shot 6, 311. A little higher on average. 311 again. And shot 8, 312. So we were a little bit higher with the Marlin Cowboy, but not a lot higher. But definitely a little bit higher velocities. Okay, so now we're going to move over to the shooting portion of this test. I'm going to put 8 rounds from each of these BB rifles through a target from 20 feet out, and we'll see how they do. I'm going to be in a freestanding position when I shoot this gun, so I'm not going to be rested in any way. So there's going to be some human factor in there, but hey, it's a rifle. It's meant to be shot from the shoulder, so let's do it. Alright, so I have my Daisy Red Ryder BB gun, and we're going to shoot 20 rounds through this gun from 20 feet out in a freestanding position and see how we do on this target. I'm going to have to hold this a little bit different because of the way my camera is set up here, but it shouldn't affect my accuracy too much. 20 feet up. Here we go. Shot number 1. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. Shot number 5. Shot number 6. Shot number 7. Shot number 8. The last one, hopefully. It goes a little low. Okay, yeah, I think the last one I shot low. I felt the gun kind of lower down here. I think that was that one there. But anyways, nice grouping. Don't count this one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that was the 9th shot. Shouldn't have really been there. Let's take this group here. And that's about 1.5 inch group, very centered on target, looks pretty good. Alright, so now we're going to move over to the Crosman Marlin Cowboy and see how well that gun shoots on this target from the same 20 foot away position in a freestanding position. Alright, so we're going to take some shots on this target with my Crosman Marlin Cowboy BB rifle. We're going to do that from 20 feet out in a freestanding position and see how we do. Again, this gun has definitely more force required to cock it. That can either be a pro or a con, depending on what you intend to do with this gun. Alright, so shot number 1. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Nothing. Sometimes they don't load. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. Shot number 5. Shot number 6. Shot number 7. Shot number 8. Try it again. Shot number 8. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, well this pattern was definitely more scattered. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I don't know where the 8th went. It might have double hit somewhere. I'm trying to find it. I don't see it. Maybe the playback will show us where it actually hit, so I'll review that once we get it back inside and see where it went. Okay, to sum things up, I would have to say that the Marlin Cowboy, the advantages to the Marlin Cowboy would be that it's a little bit stronger shooter. If you're into the natural wood finish, you might like the Marlin Cowboy a little bit better. And another benefit, it might be a benefit for some people, is the Marlin Cowboy has a little bit stronger lever pull. So if say you're giving this to youngsters that you don't necessarily want to be able to shoot it on their own, having that stronger lever action pull is going to be something that they might need adult help with. So that might be an advantage in that situation. Now with the Red Ryder, it wasn't quite as powerful, but it did have a lighter lever pull. So for say a youngster that you trust to use this gun on their own, they wouldn't have a problem with that. They could use it. It's a little bit lighter lever action, and it's not really that much less power or feet per second, so it's not like you're getting a way less powerful gun. They're very close, but the Marlin Cowboy definitely had a little bit of an advantage there. Now the Daisy did seem to shoot a little bit more accurately, and it was dead center on target, so the fact that you don't have any windage adjustments on either one of these guns, that was a benefit, because it was pretty much dead center. And again, lastly, the Daisy's trigger area was much larger, so if you're an adult with larger, say, thicker fingers, then you're going to notice that the Daisy's a little bit easier to get your finger in there to shoot it. So that pretty much sums it up. I think both of these guns are really nice. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. I think it really comes down to style. You know, the Daisy Red Ryder has been around for a long time, and that's got to say something too. So Crosman's kind of new with this style of gun in the market, but you know what? It's still a good gun. And with all that said, just go out and buy one. Doesn't really matter which one. Just go buy one and have some fun. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my website, replicaairguns.com. Check out all my articles and reviews. We also have our web store where we have lots of great items for you to choose from. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.